Hey all, Josh Liston here, the producer of the podcast you're about to listen to. I have two other podcasts that you may be interested in. The first one, Hell of a Mouth, which is a Buffy the Vampire Slayer fancast, and my second show, Sake This, Sakethis, Sake This, which is a comedy show exploring all the weird and wonderful things from the country of Japan. So check that out if you're looking for something fun. Hell of a Mouth, a Buffy fancast, and Sake This. Thanks so much for your time up front. Now, let's jump back into the episode already in motion.
I'm Stephen John Drew from the official GonnaGeek.com show, a weekly geek news podcast that is a part of the Gonna Geek network, just like the show you're checking out now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other awesome geeky shows at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
It's not often that I discover a Save Our Show fan campaign, guys, for a show that I've never heard of. But as the idiom goes, there's a first time for everything, and in this case, it's the Leif Schreiber-led crime drama Ray Donovan. Now, I'm sure there's lots of people out there going, Josh, that show was huge, it was popular, that actor's really well known, how do you not know about this show? I just missed it. There's so many shows, and that was one that just slipped through to the keeper, which is a cricket analogy and will make sense to, at least from the statistics I can see, 0% of my audience for this show. So I'll keep the cricket chat to just one analogy per episode, I promise. So there were 82 really well-received episodes across 7 seasons of Ray Donovan. It was on the Showtime network, which from memory, the only show I can remember seeing from Showtime was Banshee, which is one of my favourite shows ever. So I really don't know why I'm not familiar with Ray Donovan. So the thing is, 7 seasons, that's a pretty good run, but fans of the show weren't happy. It wasn't enough. And they campaigned hard for another season of the show, which they didn't get. Now, we've heard that story a million times before on this show. They didn't get a continuation in the form of a TV season, but they were successful. In the eyes of at least some of the fandom, they were successful. They got a full-length movie, a 140-minute full-length movie, creatively titled Ray Donovan, the Movie, in 2022. And across the board, there was mixed feelings about the movie. There was a lot of really positive praise, and maybe more so just appreciation from the less hardcore elements in the fandom that we got something. It might not have been a full season, but we got something. But I think to put it in context, having never seen the show, to compare the quality of the television show with the movie, I'm going back to IMDb here. So take these ratings for what you will, but the TV show, the 7 seasons of the TV show, is sitting at a highly respectable 8.3 out of 10 in November 2025. And the movie, not quite as respectable, down at 6.8 out of 10. So just for context, if you're not familiar with IMDb, but you are with classic television, 8.3 out of 10 is the same rating that Buffy the Vampire Slayer has at the moment, which is ridiculous. Not that Ray Donovan has 8.3, but that Buffy only has 8.3. But that's a different conversation, a different Josh rant for a different day. But just to take the show Banshee, which is, once again, one of the greatest shows ever made, that's at an 8.4 out of 10 with a similar number of ratings. So Ray Don, pretty good company on IMDb, at least for the TV show. So it's a really well-made show. Any show that has 100,000-ish or more reviews on IMDb and is maintaining an 8 or above rating out of 10 tends to be one of those shows that's a must-watch show. And at 8.3, they fall into that category. So what happened with the movie? I guess there's 2 ways we can look at this. One is it just wasn't as good. But the other perspective on this, and it's actually just from reading some of the written reviews, I get a feeling that this might be closer to the truth. I think some of the most hardcore Ray fans, and I'm not sure if that's what they call themselves, they weren't going to be happy with anything that wasn't a full TV season. No form of continuation was going to make the most hardcore people, who happen to be quite often the people that campaign very hard to save shows, they were never going to sign off completely on a continuation that wasn't a full season of television. And a movie is not that. So, having never seen the show, all I can say is, as a fan of television shows, a movie is a pretty good continuation. If the choice is nothing or something, and that something is a film, Serenity to Firefly, or maybe it's a mini arc or a mini series, the end of Timeless. Oh, I think that was NBC. Timeless had a mini series to conclude the show. I think something, as long as it's good and respectful to the original source material, or it's just a direct continuation, but they have to compress a season down to something shorter into a miniseries or a movie-length time frame, to me, that's still preferred over nothing as a fan. Other types of continuations, games, comics, graphic novels, cartoons, I fall probably more into the take it or leave it with that kind of continuation, but to me, a movie or a miniseries generally is going to get the thumbs up. So, if you have seen Ray Donovan, you obviously know exponentially more about this show than I do, having never heard of it before until today. Let me know what you think of the show. Is A, the TV show worth watching? And if so, B, is the movie worth watching? You can DM me on Instagram at Joshua C. Liston on Instagram, or email josh@jcaldigital.org. Both those contacts will be in the show notes where you're listening today. Thank you so much for checking back in with On the Bubble podcast. I can't wait to speak to you again soon, and bye for now.